The head of the U.S. Air Force mulls declassifying secret programs in order to get support for the Space Force from Congress. Tim Kurso, Sputnik reports, Pentagon recently actively pursuing the development and deployment of new equipment in space, and that includes designed to detect early launches of ballistic intercontinental missiles from the territory of potential adversaries. Barbara Barrett, who is chief of the U.S. Air Force, came up with an unusual strategy to find support, not just U.S. lawmakers, but also among the public, for Trump's new Space Force, which will be a branch of the country's armed forces. She wants to declassify a number of secret programs that the Pentagon is currently running in space. Wow, I'm all for that. I'm sorry. That I want. That's a great idea. So she opined that this could clarify to the broader public what the U.S. is doing in space and why exactly it needs a separate Space Force for operations in space, as well as funding for that Space Force. Barrett cautioned against taking things too far and revealing too much out of the need to end the practice of keeping, quote, such programs overwhelmingly classified, end quote. I can't believe this. I hope that happens. She said declassifying some what is currently held in its secret vaults would be a good idea. You would have to be careful about what we declassify, but there is much more classified than what needs to be classified. This is a bombshell. The Air Force chief's idea, Barrett, that is, was supported by Mike Rogers, a member of one of the target groups for the suggested action. House Republicans who opined that the move to declassify not only U.S., but also known Russian and Chinese activities in space would help make Congressmen more supportive of the military's needs. Rogers said it's not going to happen until they understand the threat and the dependence that we have. And I don't think that can happen until we see significant declassification of what we're doing in space and what China and Russia are doing in space, and how space is in their day-to-day lives. This is unbelievable. Neither Rogers nor Barrett has clarified how much will be released to the public, nor did they elaborate on what it might happen, but the Air Force chief pledged to focus on the matter of increasing openness in the near future. The Air Force is not the first in taking a new approach towards classified data, because the former Principal Deputy Director of National Intelligence, Susan Gordon, you notice that they're both women. The Air Force head is a woman, and Deputy Director of National Intelligence is a woman, Susan Gordon, also pushed for declassifying more information in a bid to combat China and Russia alleged attempts to target U.S. citizens for data collection purposes. President Trump said he wanted to create the Space Force back in 2018, but he wanted a new military branch that has not officially received funding yet. The National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, fiscal year 2020 contains funding for this, but it's yet to be approved by the Senate and the President. And according to the defense bill, the Space Force will be established in the Air Force, and its chief will report to the Secretary of the Air Force, but will still be a separate member in the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This is unbelievable. I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. Can you imagine what they're going to tell us? Not only what the U.S. is doing, but also what Russia and China are doing in space. This is unbelievable. So, I think it'll happen. What do you think? If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.